Morning, it's time to get up with a Super Bowl stunner and a sensational 7 for the greatest ever to do it. Tom Brady gets it done, while Mr. Mahomes does not. How did this D dominate Super Bowl 55 against the highest flying offense in the league? We've got the game plan. And then, oh, by the way, this Eagle is on the verge of flying out of Philly, like real soon. Shefty has all the details as we get up with you on this Super Bowl Monday, starting right now. And we welcome you to this Monday edition of Get Up, presented by Indeed. I am Greeny in New York, and I am delighted that you have gotten up with us coming off of a stunning Super Bowl night. And look at the squad that we have put together to talk about it this morning. Neek is here. Dan Orlovsky is here. Shefty might break a trade while we're talking. And Ryan Clark is ready to roll. Pat McAfee will join us this morning as well. Let's take you to the sights, the sounds, the scene of Super Bowl 55 last night. Raymond James Stadium, and the stage was set for the two legendary quarterbacks with all the pomp and circumstance that you will have early stalls. It was Brady finally finding some rhythm here with Cam Breton, 15 yards and a first down, and the Buccaneers get the ball moving. And then ultimately, oh my goodness, RC, he's got his old buddy Gronk.
This drive started with 3 great runs by Leonard Fournette, and the play-action pass pushed the ball in the end zone.
Brady's first ever Super Bowl touchdown in the first quarter, so it's 7-3. Then this incredibly important sequence. On a second down and goal, they try for the fat guy touchdown, and they don't get it, which sets up a third down. Ronald Jones is stuffed. RC, they decide to go for it on the fourth down, which is the right call, and they get stuffed again. How about the defense?
Listen, at this point, I'm saying this is it. This is the play that Kansas City needs. This is going to turn the game around. 99 yards for Patrick Mahomes on the next drive.
Absolutely. Take a look at that effort. We all thought that. Every single person thought that's going to shift the entire momentum of the game, but it does not. More defense. After one quick first down, there's a drop from Travis Kelce, and the Chiefs just were not in sync. Now, back come the Buccaneers. Here's a huge moment in the game, RC. It's a tip, it's a pick, but it's coming back on defensive hold'em.
This feels like the AFC Championship all over again. You get a tip pick, but it's a defensive holding or a defensive penalty. You can't give Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers extra chances.
Officiating a big part of the story in the first half last night. The Chiefs didn't like it. Meanwhile, Brady likes this. Finding Gronk again for the touchdown. And then how about the jawing afterwards? RC, look at Brady and Tyrann Mathieu. They're going at it. Well,
that's just two competitors. That's two competitors wanting to win the game, going at each other, and we saw this happen all night.
Now, a huge moment here at the end of the first half. Kansas City using timeouts to try and get the ball back, and it backfires. Tampa gets a first down, and then they get this. Is this a good call on the defensive interference?
Listen, I think it's a bad call. I feel like that ball was uncatchable, but you got to make the calls if you make them in a regular season football game.
And then that would continue. There's another pass interference in the end zone. This one on Mathieu. The Chiefs' 95 penalty yards in the first half, most in a half in Super Bowl history, and that would lead to this with 6 seconds left. Tom Brady to Antonio Brown, 21-6 at halftime. And Brady and Mathieu still going at it. Brady chasing the Honey Badger down the field as that thing would get going. Now, first drive of the second half for Tampa, more of the same. First, it's Gronk work in the middle of the field, and there's Tyrann Mathieu, RC. Clearly, Mathieu thinks he has help, and he's mistaken.
Well, listen, Tom Brady said he was going to go at him all game. He seemed to find 32 and make sure he threw the football to the guy he was supposed to be on.
And then this happened. Leonard Fournette just bursting through the defense, and you're thinking to yourself, holy smoke, Mahomes is in trouble, 28-9, and that trouble was spelled S-H-A-Q. Shaq Barrett all over him. The Buccaneers bringing the pressure all night long. Here's a 3rd and 14, and RC, it's going to get to them again. We're going to have another tip and another pick.
This is a great play by Edwards coming around Tyreek Hill, and Antoine Winfield Jr. is a magnet to the ball. He's a guy much like 32 for the Kansas City Chiefs. That dude's a star.
The Bucs tack on a field goal. It's 31-9. Now on a fourth down play, the Chiefs have to go for it here early in the fourth quarter. And this is a perfect illustration of what the game was like for Patrick Mahomes, RC. What's he supposed to do? He almost pulls this off.
Hey, listen, this is what Michael Jordan felt like playing with Bugs Bunny and the rest of the crew on Space Jam. How is he going to beat the Monstars when Darrell Williams and the rest of the guys are doing this?
He throws that ball parallel to the ground. It had a chance. Now 5 minutes left. It's Mahomes again. Look at the hit he's going to take here.
Listen, he was under siege all night. This play is just a microcosm of what the entire game was.
He was pressured 29 times last night, most pressures on any quarterback in Super Bowl history. Now on a fourth down play, again, it's Mahomes just running for his life. Ultimately, this is going to fall incomplete. Antoine Winfield going to get flagged for taunting here for throwing up the deuces, RC. What do you think?
So you mean to tell me you can throw up the deuces, you can backflip, you can backpedal into the end zone, but I clamp you all day and I get a penalty? Heck no, man.
I'm with you. The good news is it didn't have any impact on the outcome. This is the one that seals it. Devin White with the interception in the final 2 minutes, and it's over. Tom Brady wins his 7th Super Bowl. For Patrick Mahomes, there'll have to be better days. For Bruce Arians, the oldest head coach ever to win the Super Bowl, the celebration was very much on. A very tough night capping off a tough week for Andy Reid. But it's Arians, it's Brady, it's Gronk. It's a celebration in Tampa, in their home stadium. The Bucs win Super Bowl 55, and Brady is the MVP.
It's been an amazing year. Amazing year. We got off to a good start, 7-2, and then had a little rough stretch where we kind of found our identity and played a lot better football down last December, January. And
in the entire National Football League, and bear in mind, during this past offseason, he signed with a team that hadn't been in the playoffs in 13 years and hadn't won a playoff game since a Super Bowl that was played in January of 2003. That is what Tom Brady did. So again, here's the crew as we have Neek here, RC, of course, Dan Orlovsky, and Shefty is ready to go. And Ryan, I just want to start with you again because you said it in the meeting this morning. What do we say of Tom Brady this morning and what he means to the NFL?
The GOAT conversation is over. The GOAT conversation is settled. In my mind right now, I'm seeing Vince Carter after he dunked the ball in his dunk contest, and he goes, "It's over," because that's it. He's put it so far that he's put it so far away from anyone even challenging what he can do with this win. Let's think about what Tom Brady had to do to win this Super Bowl. Right? He's playing through a pandemic. He has no offseason. Some of his biggest targets and some of his biggest skill players are guys that came over with him throughout the offseason, even through the season with Antonio Brown. And you're asking him to learn a new offense, find a new place, be a leader in a new locker room. And Tom Brady does all of those things. And not only does he just get to the Super Bowl, but he plays extremely well. Tom Brady was not carried to the Lombardi Trophy. It was actually the other way. You think about Leonard Fournette, Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, all of these people who were huge in this game, they aren't Tampa Bay Buccaneers if general manager Tom Brady doesn't get them there. They all came to play with the GOAT. Like Leonard Fournette said, I am going to tell my kids I played with Tom Brady. I'm not going to tell my kids I won a Lombardi. I'm not going to tell my kids I won a Super Bowl. I'm not going to tell my kids I scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl game. You know what I'm going to tell them? That Tom Brady was my teammate. That's his effect. That's who he is. He's the greatest organization of all time.
Yeah, you said it as a joke a few weeks ago, but now it doesn't feel like such a joke. He's the Super Bowl MVP and maybe the executive of the year. Dominique, what do we say about what this means for his legacy, for his place in the sport, for his place in the history of American sports?
I mean, I think that him beating Patrick Mahomes was something important and something special because just a week ago, I think RC and I were on here talking about maybe Patrick Mahomes can catch Tom Brady in this with fewer than 6 Super Bowls. Now you can't because you beat him in this game, in this moment. Now, I know it's a team game, but once we get further away from this, that's not how we're going to view this. We're going to view this as a significant moment. And not only did he beat Patrick Mahomes, he made so many of us look stupid because I was drunk on Patrick Mahomes. We all were drunk on Patrick Mahomes. We were like, hey, D-line, Smee-line. It don't matter. Patrick Mahomes is going to figure it out. But no, Patrick Mahomes was not the special guy in this game. It was Tom Brady. And to RC's point, Tom Brady, none of this happens without Tom Brady. The first person, the owner of the franchise, thanked was Tom Brady. He said he brought it down here. He taught us how to do it. He didn't thank his mom. He didn't thank his family. He didn't thank his coach. He said, you know what? Tom Brady came down here and showed us how to do it. Let's follow that man.
And so, Dan Orlovsky, let's talk about the play because so much talk about the leadership, so much talk about what he means to the franchise and to the history of the league. But the reality is, as RC said, he didn't get carried to a championship here. How about the way he actually played on the field all year and last night?
Yeah, Greeny, it's the greatest Super Bowl run a quarterback has ever gone on. I mean, he just went through 3 of the all-time greats at the position, 3 guys that will be Hall of Famers. two of them on the road, right, with Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, and then knocked off the king of football right now in Patrick Mahomes. So for Tom Brady, it's the greatest Super Bowl run a quarterback has ever been on. I think this is, why it's so impressive is the quarterback position. There's no position like it in football, in sports, that is more impactful. It's the most impactful position in sports. You impact so many pieces around you, yet it's also the position that's most dependent on those around them in sports. And for him to be so trusting of those guys is so impressive. I mean, Tom Brady was said that he's too old. His arm wasn't strong enough.